Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Fox 2 News meteorologist Chris Higgins. Time for Chris's Corner update for Friday, January the 28th. This will be out sometime around 12:30. It's an update on the ongoing winter storm that has been lurking to our south all night and for most of the morning. As I posted in my handwritten blog earlier this morning, the system has certainly not behaved very well over the last 24 to 48 hours. That wasn't totally unexpected considering the complexity and where the system came from, but still, the big feature has been the dry air monster, the dam as we like to call it, and it has been even stronger than I anticipated. You can see the effects of that dry air with the northeasterly wind punching in here across eastern Missouri. We've had some very strong elements of snow that have tried to punch up into that dry air. Some of them have made it, but they eventually fade out and evaporate. That has been the case and should continue to be the case for the better part of the afternoon, at least along and just south of the Interstate 70 corridor. Things are changing a little bit, and as expected, the upper low getting better organized, especially at 700 millibars out here. You can see the spin out over southwest Oklahoma and north Texas. That is the 700 millibar low responding to the ejecting 500 millibar shortwave energy that's rounding the base of the trough and getting ready to kick out to the east. As a result of that and the increasing upward motion out here in Oklahoma, as you can see, the precipitation has been blossoming the past few hours across parts of Oklahoma. In fact, most of eastern and central Oklahoma into northwestern sections of Arkansas. At this point, the second band will lay down its heaviest snow right along the Missouri-Arkansas state line, it would appear. Perhaps just a little bit north and south of there, but that will be the focus for the heaviest snow with this next system that also happens to follow the track of the 700 millibar low, which is forecast to move from about southwest Oklahoma here onto the east northeast, perhaps clipping far southeastern Missouri before opening up into an open wave and moving up the Ohio River Valley. What that does, just by looking at the radar trends, it will bring upward vertical motion enough to saturate the atmosphere and allow for pretty general light to moderate snow along and south of a line now this afternoon from the Lake of the Ozarks through about Rolla, perhaps a little bit further north of there towards Sullivan, and then extending eastward along pretty much where this boundary is right now through southern Jefferson County, Missouri towards Mount Vernon. I think this area along that line into the south will begin to fill in with precipitation echoes as we go through this afternoon and this evening. And that is going to be the area where the greatest accumulations will occur. In my viewing area will be along and south of that line. There is still a potential as this low kicks out to the east that the atmosphere will saturate enough, and I do think it will finally saturate, at least for a brief period, a brief window along the I-70 corridor to allow for at least some light snow and flurries late this afternoon or more likely early this evening, but accumulations will be very hard to come by. So what does this all boil down to here? The tweaked, updated numbers, kind of to match what I was talking about earlier this morning. I'm going to keep the I-70 corridor as the northernmost extension of any snowfall, and go ahead and cover it with a dusting to perhaps on the high side 2 inches. The dusting is most likely in the metro St. Louis area. The 2-inch amounts would be for the southern part of that band, so southern Gasconade, maybe down to near Sullivan and DeSoto over towards Sparta. In Pinckneyville, Illinois, may pick up an inch or two at most, but certainly a dusting to 2 inches will cover that whole band. We'll graduate it up from Phelps County. This is the area that's under the advisory from Phelps County through Washington County, St. Genevieve, St. Francis counties, into the Chester, Illinois area, and go with a 2 to 5 inch zone down there. In some spots, there's already as much as a ½ inch to approaching an inch as you get down into Madison County, so it won't take much to get us into that range. But 2 to 5 inches, 2, perhaps 5, will cover us down there. And finally, the heavier band, again, shifting to the south, so I've cut down the numbers a bit from Dent County into Iron and Madison County over towards Cape Girardeau, but I still think 5 to 8 inches is attainable there, especially with the intensity of the snow that will be coming your way later this evening as that shortwave comes in. Actually, with you being right under the 700 millibar low or just to the left of its track, you'll be in a prime zone for some pretty decent snows, I would think, from Reynolds County into Iron, Madison County, and Cape Girardeau County as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours tonight.